I'm super excited. And that sounds fake. I guess we're starting. That sounds fake, but it's not actually at all. It's extremely real, or as you would say, raw.
Real.
And I feel excited about that. Really quickly, I am multitasking while I'm doing my job. I'm reordering those eye patches, but I just want to say it again because people were asking about it.
Oh, yeah.
Just real quick, everyone, the eye patches I was talking about, cooling under eyes. I woke up this morning. Till I get a lower bleph, I'll be doing this and Botox interchangeably until we get there, is the Luxe Unfiltered brand Ice Latte Cooling Eye Patches. And they can sponsor us if they'd like at any time because that's so exciting.
Chic.
Welcome to Disrespectfully
With Katie Maloney
and Dayna Kathan.
Unapologetically.
We're here to do what we want to do.
Spilling the tea.
Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like,
Disrespectfully.
what do you have to tell me this morning? What's going on with you?
Okay, first, you guys, I did the most boneheaded shit ever. Okay?
I'm making a mental pin to myself because the one thing I'm going to contribute before we get started, I'm just going to say I'm going to see your boneheaded and raise you dementia because I've done the craziest thing I've ever done. But go ahead.
Okay, so today we're traveling to Las Vegas, right?
Right.
For the weekend. And I booked my travel like a month and a half ago, maybe. And so I was like, great, I'm just going to do this now. That way I don't have to think about it. I'm all ready to go. Tell me why.
Why?
This morning, when I wake up and I open my email and I have, your travel today, get ready for your flight, here's some things before you go. And I'm flying jet suite. And I'm like, maybe they changed some policies, better go look at it. I open it up and it's like your flight from Las Vegas to Burbank today. And I was like, what?
Oh, no.
I booked going the wrong way, both directions. So I was flying from Las Vegas to Burbank and then Las Vegas to Burbank. Oh, sorry.
No, they're picking up what you're putting down.
You know what I mean? And so I was like, fuck. I had to like cancel the flight and then rebook it. And thankfully there was a flight. It's a little bit later than my one today and it's a little earlier than the one coming back. But like, thank God.
You would have been road tripping with us. So my question is, how was the ease of change? So I've not had to do that with Jet Suite, and my parameters for that are two things. Number one, cost, and then customer service experience. Did you have to basically pay way more, or was the cancellation the same? Tell us about that.
I canceled it, so then I got credits, right? And then I just rebooked and applied those credits. Did I have to pay a little bit more? Yeah. But that's what happens when you make stupid fucking mistakes. I know how I made that mistake though. This is important. Okay. So when I booked that travel, it was when I was traveling back to Vegas or back to LA from Las Vegas with Nick, and our flight kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. And so I pulled up Jet Suite. I was like, in case this flight ultimately gets canceled, like maybe I'll see if they have a flight leaving Vegas like tonight or later this afternoon that if we need to like whatever, get our asses home. So I typed in Las Vegas to Burbank. And then it was after that, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and book my travel for a month and a half from now, just so I'm extra prepared. And I never swapped it. I just hit round trip and then booked it.
Okay.
It's stupid. I feel so stupid.
Do you want to feel smarter?
Yeah.
That's honestly,
let's all I've ever wanted.
Let's kick this up a notch for you because this is honestly upsetting and I can't believe I didn't develop a serious skin condition. Very long story short, I got a Costco membership last year for me and Raleigh. Used it once. Probably got to cancel, probably already charged again. It's just so far. And I have anxiety going to Ralph's, which is a much smaller and easier grocery store. So part of it is the psyching up the week before. I have a problem. So I get there. Kirkland Sig, I'm a huge fan. Love their work. Love their water specifically. You know, I'm a big Kirkland Sig gal.
They got great booze.
They have great booze. They have great everything. Kirkland Sig, we know that this is a Costco forward podcast. So I get there, and one of the things that I needed was Kirkland Sig OxyClean for my laundry because that was something that I was really cycling through, getting the smaller packages. And I was like, oh, this is perfect for party of one because I will use the shit out of it. Mostly for my whites because I stopped using bleach years ago because over time it turns it that yellow color.
Yeah.
And OxyClean, I really miss that guy, Billy whatever. Actually, isn't he a weirdo? I don't know. Beside the point.
Infomercial guy? Yeah, I don't know.
They all are. So I switched to OxyClean. I'm like, wow, this is great. And then I got a thing of dishwashing pods. Now, their dishwashing pods are not the kind that I had with like the purple and green gel on it with the powder looking shit. It was just like the powder looking pods. I did not look carefully enough, or Costco did not differentiate them enough. Over the past few months, and this was almost a year ago, I've really noticed my whites getting so dingy. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm not using too much more self-tan or whatever. Like my bedding was looking creepy. And then I go and, I was like, I'm going to throw 2 pods in because this is looking weird, whatever. So I think we see where this is going. I throw the 2 pods in, and before I close it, after looking at Laszlo 10 times, I was like, what is going on here? And then I pause and I realize I have been putting dishwasher pods in my laundry along with detergent. So I put the detergent up here. I throw the pods in for almost a year. I bought new bedding because of this, because I was like, something is afoot. I am the problem. I am so type A, as we know. This is not a normal. Does that sound like something I would do? Ordinary. I'm so detail oriented and weird, especially around laundry, especially around my Laszlo fear.
Yeah, no.
And how did it also not like, what's the movie where the washer goes crazy and the suds go everywhere? And it's like, there's some like 90s movie.
Yeah.
It's like that. Anyway, this is my deepest shame that I actually think I wasn't going to share here, but don't you feel better now about your flight mishap?
I feel like that's much more idiotic.
100%. And also, my sensitive skin. How did it not tell me? How did the largest organ having to do with my personal body not say 5-alarm fire? Something is wrong here.
Maybe your sleep has suffered because of it. I do feel a lot better about myself, so thank you.
You're welcome. That's what I have to contribute
We're just
today.
a couple of boneheads.
We're a couple of boneheads, but we're not. So it's so strange.
I know, but you know what?
So strange.
We're allowed a couple of those blonde moments in our lives.
So something I am going to require is anyone to write in your bonehead stories. We need those. So if you want to make us feel better in addition.
Yeah.
Okay, what are the other 3 things you have to tell me that we need to start this episode?
Speaking of Costco, did you hear about the...
We're perfect.
Did you hear about the woman who joined it wasn't at Costco, but the hot dog eating contest?
No.
And it's see how many hot dogs you can eat in 5 minutes, and she ate 2.
That's perfect for us.
It's iconic. She just was there just to have a couple dogs and carry on. I thought that was so fucking funny.
Did she bring her own condiments?
I don't know.
Because in those contests, you know how they like shove it in the water, which is disgusting to get the buns ready? I'm like, I would have bring my own hot dog, like condiments and do it, but that's
I want to
great.
talk on our Wednesday episode more about people who do like food challenges, because I've been getting a lot of that lately. The final thing that I want to bring up, because this reminded me of it, this is the cherry cola. Did you see all the discourse online about Wild Cherry Pepsi's post?
No. And I see everything online.
So their post originally said, Wild Cherry Pepsi is what happens when Cherry Pepsi stops asking for permission. What?
Pepsi rape?
That's where your brain goes to rape?
100%. Wait, is this like a happy, lighthearted thing? That is no.
A lot of people did. I read it and it was like, oh, yeah, that's what, like, it's talking about rebellion. Like women, like kind of almost like how women need to stop asking for permission to be themselves and who they want to be. I do not conflate. First of all, it's a soda. I'm not jumping to anything sexual related.
I guess I am that woke. That's immediately
or
where my brain
gendering
went.
a soda whatsoever. But a lot of people are upset about it. But I don't know. I feel like there's some like illiteracy among us with people that couldn't just.
No, I think that SA can happen to any gender, so I don't think I'm gendering anything. But I think that's weird.
But why is Pepsi being wild all of a sudden equating it to being raping?
Well, I think it's pretty wild to not ask for permission. Consent is important.
But we're not talking about consent. We're talking about permission to be wild, to say, fuck it, I want to be who I want to be. I want to be wild and cherry.
Yeah, and I think that this episode of Mad Men didn't go very well. I think the tag got a little off
Mary,
the beaten path.
did you see this?
I haven't seen it, but when you said it, I did read it more as like Joan Jett, like wild, bad reputation gal than, bad episode Mad Men.
Maybe there's just
Sydney
two types
Sweeney.
of people in this
also,
world.
why are we listening to my opinion? I put dishwasher pods in my laundry for a year and didn't know.
I was shocked at that. I was literally befuddled that that's what people took out of that. I was like, oh my God, we gotta touch some grass.
Can we talk about one more thing?
It's like well-behaved women rarely make history.
No, I see your point now.
You know what I mean? Okay.
Nevertheless, she was a wild cherry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm the problem.
You're not.
One more thing, because I love you for saying that, even though I am. Oh, never lie to me. The last thing that I want to talk about is, did you see the guy who sent the voice note after the first date asking to have sex?
Yeah.
Huge discourse. What's your takeaway on that?
My takeaway is that is what consent looks like. It's radical and it's direct, but that is the conversation that people need to be having around this, because it should never be presumed or assumed or perceived any other way. You have to just come out and be direct about it. Say, hey, I'm looking to explore a sexual connection here, and if you're not, then that's totally cool, but I don't want to like continue on with this if we're not aligned. I think being aligned every step of the way, it's never too soon to get those conversations out of the way. And they're uncomfortable. I get that, but I just think that's what consent looks like.
Well, I am your favorite karaoke song. I'm torn. I see both ways. Consent is great. Being upfront is great, especially in hookup culture, which has pretty much obliterated dating and made it so difficult, and why I think there's, this whole like situationship, and there's a listener right now who's going to argue with me about this, but there's a whole thing going on. So great, consent. I also think it is gross in the way that he presented it. It was so robotic, and the bar is in hell. It's like, maybe, I don't know. I think there's 1,000 different ways you could have had that conversation directly and not sounded so, I don't know. It gave me the ick. I mean, I certainly would never say this to a man in general, obviously, as we know, but I didn't like it at all. I think if you are someone who is down for that, then great. But it just was like, it was like a list. It was just so like, what is the word I'm looking for besides robotic? I don't know. It just was such a strange thing to me. And after a second, you're right. It's never too early to have those conversations. Completely agree. But and also, can you not have that conversation in person? I get that he was saying like, I don't want to see you again.
I don't know. I think just as long as you're having it. I think some people like, it's uncomfortable. I think that's what it boils down to. It's uncomfortable. So if he felt like this was the way he was going to be able to get everything out, all the information out on the floor, then that was his manner of doing so. But again, I think it just also comes down to, compatibility issues. If that doesn't work for you, then you can just move on to the next.
Mary spends as much time online as I do. Give us your quick hot take, and we got to get going.
I don't know. I feel like whoever matches your freak matches your freak. So if you're into like somebody being super upfront with you like that, I guess sure. But I also think there's something like I don't know. I feel like consent, when it gets into this like mathematical thing, kind of takes away like the, intimacy of like having sex with someone. Yeah. And I feel like when it's more communicated as like a little slight check-ins, where it's just like you're like listening to somebody. I don't know. That's like my way of doing it. But I don't know.
I get it.
I think that everyone should keep writing stories in to disrespectfullypod@gmail.com. Whether it's Coven Core or
Heauxmetown Hero
or WWDD.
WWDD.
Or giving us 5 stars and following the show and telling your friends about it.
Yeah, tell everyone about it, please.
Just never stop talking about it. It should be your favorite thing to talk about. Hey, Katie, do you want to start with a Coven Core?
Yeah.
Great, let's do that.
All right. Stephanie says, hi, Katie and Dana. I wrote in with a WWDD back in January/February of this year after going through a breakup with my ex-girlfriend, and I was asking for advice on how to move on when I didn't really have much of a support system around me. For context, again, I had moved to San Francisco with my ex. I just want to write in with a little life update as things have totally turned around. After living with my ex for 3 months post-breakup, lesbians, I rented a car, packed my 2 cats, one of which was hers, but I've always been the primary cat mom. And I hauled ass to New York, making little stops along the way to visit friends and family in different parts of the country. It was definitely a little scary to move across the country without any real idea of what exactly was coming next. But I just kept reminding myself that I am a triple Gemini. I know, yikes. So if I can't pivot in life, then who can?
I love a Gemini.
I love Geminis. I've always been drawn to Geminis.
Yeah, I guess they're polarizing, but all their personalities. But
I like the side they bring out in me.
Complimentary.
Yeah. I've been here for a little over a month, and I've met so many new friends, gone on so many unserious dates, and I've started to really fall in love with myself and my hobbies again. I even just celebrated my 25th birthday on June 20th at a rooftop pride party that included Spin the Bottle with 50 other lesbians.
Spin the Bottle is like this. Wouldn't you call it the dark mark, Mary, of lesbianism?
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
But it's everywhere. Everyone's always like, hey, we're all friends. Should we play Spin the Bottle?
Yeah, what if we all made out and then pretended that was normal? Yeah.
I'm here for it. The most attractive couple on the planet flirting with me, a hot dance floor makeout session, drunk pizza and a joint, and coming back into my body in the subway station at 4:30 a.m. Oh, this is making me sweat.
I know.
Like,
truly.
what the fuck? During which I realized that there was no way my drunk ass was going to wait 15 minutes for the train when I was wearing maybe a pound of clothing on total. All that to say, every time I find myself feeling anxious about putting myself out there or trying new things in a new city on my own, I hear your lovely voices saying, nothing changes if nothing changes. I was in such a dark mental space for the first half of the year. And though it seemed at times like I would never get through it all, mostly because I was still very much living with my ex, I can't help but feel like this is actually where my story begins, which is part of your advice in the episode where you read my last email. Thank you so much for taking time to read not only my emails, but emails from everyone in the Coven. Community is so important right now, and it can be hard to feel that connection in times when you can't even get out of bed in the morning. But you make it possible through this podcast. Disrespectfully yours, Stephanie. I love that. And I'm so happy for you, Stephanie. This is what it's about. This is what this podcast is about. This is what the Coven's about. This is what this life is about.
It is about partying hard and then waking up on a train at 4:30, but also furthermore, just finding yourself and trusting yourself. And we just love when we give advice that works out for someone.
I love when someone takes my advice.
More people should listen to us. World would be a better place.
Mm-hmm.
Should we get into some hometown heroes?
Let's do it.
Great. Jackie says, "Hi, Dana and Katie. I have a crazy story about my experience with standardized testing." Because I was talking about the WASL, which was deeply triggering.
Mm-hmm.
My senior year of high school, I moved from New Mexico to Nevada in 2002. I passed all of the testing subjects first time around except the math portion. I took it 4 times and found out 2 weeks before graduation I missed the state requirement by around 3 points. Such bullshit. This test was important at the time to pass. My mom was just making ends meet, and I had planned to join the Air Force. If I didn't pass, I would have to give up my reserve job and reschedule basic training. Not even 2 weeks later, the school called me back saying the state had just lowered the required minimum score to graduate, and I could pick up my diploma. I still ended up changing my reserve job and went to basic training a week after receiving my diploma. It was like the universe was telling me I was making the right decision by joining. I retired from the Air Force in 2024, and even though my job did require some math, I started out as a cook and managed restaurant-type facilities at the end. It was nowhere near what I had stressed about, taking the test 4 times, and still had a great career. I'm now a stay-at-home mom to my boy and my 2 4-legged children in Germany, and I'm loving life. Love you girlies, Jackie. P.S. I do not support the current administration. Honor to the warrior, not the war. I loved that ending because I think that we want to make it clear we absolutely support our military and thank you for your service, obviously. And you and I are actually countrymen. We have deep love for the United States. James Baldwin had that quote about how much he loves America, so he feels the need to critique it endlessly.
And as we should. You think you can absolutely still love something and hold it to criticism. I feel extremely patriotic at times, especially when I watch the Blue Angels fly.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that shit.
Absolutely. So also, we just want to say we're so happy for you and glad that turned out. And yeah, standardized testing.
It's so pointless. We need to stop that.
Cut it out.
Do you know what I love?
What?
I love finding something that's been sold out forever. Instead of paying full price or giving up, I just check on Poshmark first because someone usually has exactly what I'm looking for.
It's become my go-to for brands like Reformation, Miu Miu, and even Loewe. You can find everything from everyday staples to vintage pieces.
And when you're ready to clean out your closet, you can sell pieces you're not wearing anymore and reach more than 80 million users on the platform. It's a great way to make a little extra money while making room for something new.
I was looking for a specific Reformation dress that had sold out everywhere. Found it on Poshmark in minutes, and that was honestly all it took to convert me.
It really feels like treasure hunting, you know? Except you actually find what you're looking for.
New deals and styles are listed every day, so don't wait. Download the Poshmark app and use code DISRESPECT when you sign up to get $10 off your first purchase.
Or shop now at Poshmark.com/disrespect and get $10 off your first purchase. That's POSHMARK.com/disrespect.
My summer calendar has been jam-packed, and whenever something pops up last minute and I need an outfit, I always end up on Revolve.
No, truly, it's my go-to because everything feels curated instead of overwhelming. You find one piece you like, and it immediately shows you other styles that make sense together. Love it.
I recently wore one of their matching sets to dinner, and it looked way more expensive than the amount of effort I put into it, which we j'adore.
They've got dresses, matching sets, swimwear, vacation looks, night out looks, all from brands we already love. Plus, they have new arrivals every day and inclusive sizing.
And if I can't decide, I'll order a couple of options because the shipping is fast and the returns are easy. It takes the stress out of shopping.
Whether it's a big night out, a wedding, a summer trip, or you just need something last minute that actually works, Revolve always has it. Go to revolve.com/disrespectfully to shop our faves and use code disrespectfully for 15% off your first order.
Fast shipping, easy returns. It just makes everything easier. That's revolve.com/disrespectfully. You can shop our faves and get 15% off your first order. Offer ends July 31st, so don't miss out. You don't have to do everything yourself. Bringing in an expert gets things done so much quicker, and that's why Upwork is just so helpful.
It's a one-stop platform where you can find, hire, and pay expert freelancers for everything from marketing and business operations to web development, data, analytics, and so much more.
You can browse profiles, look through past work, and find exactly the person you need for any given project.
And if you need someone fast, Business Plus gives you access to the top 1% of talent on Upwork, matching you with the right freelancer in under 6 hours.
They even handle contracts and payments in one place, so you're spending your time actually growing your business instead of getting buried in admin work.
Thousands of growing businesses already trust Upwork for everything from one-time projects to ongoing support, and it's free to sign up.
Visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That is Upwork.com to connect with top talent ready to help your business grow.
That's UPWORK.com. Upwork.com. Adriana says, hey ladies, still reeling after you read my last email on the pod, but after hearing last week's episode, I had to write in again. As you were discussing traumatic coyote stories, a repressed memory was brought right back to the surface. During my junior year of high school in 2006, I dated a guy whose father was pretty well off. He owned this beautiful home in the Arizona desert where he lived with my boyfriend's stepmom. One day we were driving to their home so he could introduce me, and on the way he casually said, oh yeah, my mom has a pet kangaroo. What the actual fuck? Who owns a pet kangaroo in Arizona? The answer should be nobody. Exactly. Lo and behold, his stepmom walks me to the backyard where her pet kangaroo is freely bopping around. My mind was blown. I felt bad for the little guy, but was also terrified, so my interaction was limited. Fast forward about a year, his parents went on vacation. This is really sad. A pack of coyotes hopped the fence and ate the poor kangaroo.
Oh, I wish I didn't know this information.
Sorry. His stepmom was devastated and didn't leave the house for weeks. I still can't believe this was real and do not condone her choice of pet, however. I know this story had to be shared. Anywho, don't date a guy whose family owns exotic pets. Okay, love you, bye, Adriana.
The thing is, Adriana, this is actually our fault because you got us back. I have to share things that are horrible because I can't take them on alone. So why were we talking about traumatic coyote
grief
shit?
is meant to be seen and shared.
Well, you know what? I'm going to get you back for getting me back. Speaking of kangaroos, I'm going to tie this all together. My goddamn ADHD. Remember when I was talking about the kangaroo baby and how it's like a jelly bean, it crawls in the pouch and then continues?
Hate it.
And I feel upset that the mom doesn't just pluck it up and, stick it in there. It's like, why are we doing Lord of the Flies?
Because they have little arms.
Okay. You're so right. Why I think it disturbed me so much is it reminded me of this scene from The Orange is the New Black where these girls were playing Would You Rather, and a guard who was a total creep overheard it and then took one of the girls to like his quarters, and it was like, would you rather eat something like 10 flies or dead flies or a baby mouse, which looks like a jelly bean. It looks indistinguishable. And I think she did the mouse, and I just hated it. So anyway, that's why am I fighting with the audience? I don't know.
Okay.
Now that everyone's nauseous, Nicole says, hello, hotties. San Diego Riptide freed my nips.
Ooh.
My name is Nicole with a K, Libra Sun, Aries Rising, Scorpio Moon. Pertinent information. As always, day one VPR fan, and listening to both weekly brings me joy and smiles more than you know. Katie's lip slip water park story reminded me of something that happened on my bachelorette trip in San Diego last year.
It wasn't my story. I just read it.
But I feel like that has happened to you.
It's a fear of mine.
I mean, mine was both cans and all the lips. So I had all lips of mine exposed that one time when I rolled to the beach and wherever the hell I was. After all my friends got to the Airbnb, I'm eager to get to the beach. Quite a few drinks in, and we're off. We get to the beach, and it's more rough than we expected, but still wasn't a red flag. Sweet. We took some cute photos, and I'm just loving my new strapless bikini top as I hadn't owned one before. Excited and a little drunk, my girlfriends and I head straight for the ocean. We're waiting around in the water for about 10 minutes and notice the riptide starts getting more aggressive. All my friends start going in, but after the water was quickly changing on me, and I was the last one to start heading into the beach. Before I knew it, a nearby lifeguard dude was calling for me to come in as if I wasn't already trying. I got pulled under by a massive wave and started swallowing lots of ocean water. I'm coughing and fighting for my damn life at this point. Every time I get back up by a wave, I jump as hard as I can to bring my upper body out of the water and catch my breath before the next one rolls over me. I open my eyes and this is so Blue Crush. Another of my eyes after an open aggressive wave takes me down and the lifeguard was on a surfboard. Lifeguard, I'm having all kinds of accents today. Was on a surfboard coming to rescue me. I hold onto the back handle and he brings me back to the sand. I thank him before he quickly walks away and then look down. My entire right tit was out the whole time. After the first wave took me under, every time I tried to jump and catch my breath, but every time he was rescuing me, here's my right titty along for the ride. I was a little embarrassed, but more happy to be on dry land. Now it's just a funny story about freeing my nip. Thank you to the San Diego lifeguard on duty. I think that your breast should be your last concern when you're in that situation. The ocean's so good. I'm glad you made it. Can I tell you my quick Bachelorette San Diego story? Because it has to do with the ocean and people being stupid.
This is also just why I don't swim in the ocean, but go on.
This wouldn't happen to you because this would happen to me, and it has. So my sister had her bachelorette party in San Diego. I was living there at the time. That's why she did it, because I was flying so much for her, bridal events. Someone had the brilliant idea, and Lisa, congratulations on your third baby. I love you. My sister's best friend, who's also one of my best friends, probably not listening right now, but she does support our podcast, unlike my sister. I think she scheduled this. We scheduled on the second day kayaking in the ocean at 9 a.m. We went to bed. Me and Courtney tried to walk through a Taco Bell at like 2 or 3 a.m. They got mad at us, told us to leave. We ordered an Uber to take us through the Taco Bell. He got mad at us. My sister didn't want us to go to Taco Bell, so we had to sneak out. It was this whole thing. Anyway, we're super hungover. We go out. The first few girls, because I'm thinking of Seattle kayaking, which is you on a lake. It's placid. Great movie. You float out. This is you're fighting the waves to get out. I watched the first group of girls go and completely capsize. So I'm in a flannel for whatever reason. We're so ill prepared. We go out. I think it was Courtney with me. We don't capsize, but it's like, again, castaway. Him trying to get out past these waves. We get out. We fight. Most of the girls capsize. We are uncomfortable, miserable, hungover. I think someone threw up in the ocean. We get out to our destination. The second we get out, the lifeguards are rounding us up, screaming, calling us back in. Everyone had to come in because a diver got separated from their group. So when they're doing the flyovers looking for the diver, it turns out the diver was totally fine. We were very concerned. And once we found out they were fine, we were mad. The diver got separated for fun. They were going to explore something and just like left. And when you are diving, I'm a diver, you have a buddy. You do not separate from your buddy, or the buddy did the right thing, came up, put a flag up saying something's wrong, and then they found out. We went to brunch, so I was honestly, maybe that was God being like, "You all, why are you on the ocean?
You couldn't pay me
to
there's
go."
there's not a price tag.
Would you kayak in a lake?
Yeah, but do I want to? No. It does
Kayaking is
it
like
just
one of my
doesn't
favorite
sound
things.
like fun. Some people like that. They're like, that would be so cool. I'm like, I could think of so many other things I would do before that.
When's the last time you
I don't like a little
kayaked?
paddle board action. That's sort of like peaceful and easy.
Can you remember the last time you did that?
Paddleboard?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was in the last like 5 years maybe.
Okay.
I don't really find myself on a lake often, but I think it was maybe in like Lake Havasu where I did that.
I kayaked last month because I always do it when I'm home, but paddleboarding, which I also love. I love you. I'm kind of surprised you're saying that because coordination's really important for that and balance.
I can do it. Also, you can kneel. You can kneel. You underestimate my athleticism, and that's like I'm starting to get offended.
Your turn.
Okay.
This is a great episode. I'm having a blast.
Lisa says, hello, ladies. Hello.
Hi.
Day one Bravo VPR and podcast listener here. Absolutely love your pod and the both of you. I especially love hearing all the Coven's experiences. I want to believe in ghosts, but I have a hard time believing in them because I've never seen one. Seeing isn't always believing, Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think I never have. Okay, so perhaps you. After sitting in this for a while and then hearing you wanting to hear more about New Orleans experiences, I'm sharing mine. After you read this, look at the photo and tell me what you think. It starts with a ghost tour in New Orleans. Seems so obvious, right? A few years ago, I was on a company work trip for a few days. We had some time in the evenings after dinner, so my coworker set up a ghost tour for us with one of the many tour companies in the French Quarter. We got on a bus for the tour, and on the way, many of the other tour guests told several ghost stories. Ghost?
We both have weird accents today. That's fun.
Which really set the mood for the evening.
Minnesota.
Once we arrived at the first cemetery, it was completely dark as night had set in. The sign over the cemetery entrance read Odd Fellows Cemetery. We went through the gates, and the tour guide told us stories about the history of the cemetery as we walked through the path filled with mausoleums and tombstones. We had stories about some different residents and their final resting places. On our next tour was at Charity Hospital Cemetery. The cemetery is famous for being the final resting place for 86 unidentified victims of Hurricane Katrina. The tour guide pointed out a specific area where they buried many victims of Hurricane Katrina and told us not to venture over there to that part of the property. He felt like there were many unsettled souls, and this completely gave me chills. Well, that would be accurate, I think. After the tour, we were encouraged to walk the cemetery grounds for a while before heading back to the bus. There were 2 huge mausoleums facing each other, and I remember just standing there for a while, and I felt something I never felt before. Keep in mind, this was New Orleans in late June. The heat and humidity were stifling, and though the temperature had fallen a few degrees in the evening, it was still extremely humid and warm. As I was standing in the middle of the mausoleums, I felt cold air at my feet rising from the ground. I had never felt a sensation like that before, and I froze, checking myself to see if this was a real feeling. It definitely felt cold air on my feet. After that, we headed back to the bus, and we were waiting to get on the bus. 2 women had been on the tour with us, ran up to our group. They were holding their phone, and one of them had taken a picture of something that I couldn't identify. They claimed they saw this figure in the area we were told not to go. I'm attaching the photo now. It's not the best pic. It's of the figure on this lady's phone. Let me know what you think. To me, it looks like someone wearing a cape and oddly shaped hat. This whole experience made me think, maybe I do believe in ghosts.
Show me.
Wow.
Yeah. That's oddly shaped, and that might be Voldemort from like the 3rd Harry Potter before
it
he has
looks
a body.
like a cloak or something, like a hooded cloak.
Well, when he's still fetal, like
Also,
at one
she
point,
looks terrified.
it looks like he was like cloaking it up in a fetal thing. So yeah, that's weird. Unless, or maybe it's ET. Both strange.
Both, yeah.
Do you know what I will say? I have a New Orleans specific, mausoleum specific based fear. Do you know what it's from? It's a movie.
What we do in the shadows? No. What? I don't know.
Double Jeopardy.
I don't remember that movie.
Oh, there's a scene, spoiler alert, but we've talked about this. If it came out 20 years ago, get over it. Ashley Judd is looking for her son, and they hire this like little fake boy to run around a mausoleum, and someone grabs her and he sticks her in a mausoleum in a casket. I can't remember how she gets out, if it's like Kill Bill style, like nails her in there. She wakes up. She has her lighter, and she goes like this. And they left the corpse in with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching that when I was 6.
Okay, I do remember that. I haven't watched that movie in a long time.
Pretty good.
I went on a ghost tour in
A ghost tour?
No, I can't talk, guys. I went on a ghost tour in French Quarter, and I was hammered for one, but also 2, we had those like little like readers that would like beep when there was like energy, and they had hid magnets.
You told the story because
okay,
the magnet thing.
But I have a weird feeling about it. They're a scam. If you go through one of those companies, find like a yokel who's like a little bit off, and they'll take you on a ghost tour, I'm sure.
People aren't going to believe this because it's timely, but like a week ago, I did have a ghosty thing for the first time in a while. But I have this mirror in my room, and like I keep opening my eyes, and the way my blinds reflect on it, it does look like something's there. So I first noticed that, and it was the first time it kind of spooked me, and I was like, huh. And then I turned. I swear to God, a little girl went like this with both hands, and it was so quick, and I literally went, fuck off, and I waved my arm, and it was gone.
No thanks.
So, but we know that happens to me sometimes, so I didn't even tell anyone because I was just like, whatever. Guess it's my turn. Anonymous says, hello, ladies. I mentioned when I wrote in before how people calling high drunk, isn't anything out of the ordinary. This is a vet tech. One time during the New Year's Eve shift, someone called in concerned about their dog. I could clearly tell this person was completely wasted, but I wanted to make sure their dog was okay. I don't remember the content of the call, but it ended by the owner stopping and saying, why am I calling again? I asked if their dog was breathing, and they answered yes, then hung up on me. Another time I was calling back blood work results to an owner and told them everything was great, but their pet's cholesterol was a little high. However, we're not worried about it. The owner then said, should I feed her Cheerios? Which is something I feel like you would come up with, stoned.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
All my favorite stories as vet tech happened in the last 6 months in the field. I was working with an animal cardiologist, and we got a call from a local clinic that a dog needed to be seen ASAP and possibly needed a pacemaker. We got the pet in on an urgent appointment during our lunch. When the owner arrived, we gave him the cost of the exam and urgent fee. I took the dog back and the vet exam, and I presented the estimate to the owner, which had a few $1,000s. I simply just needed the owner to sign the estimate. He refused and said, I can't pay for that, and wouldn't sign. I said to him multiple times I needed him to sign, and he simply wouldn't. I told him it was policy, and he still refused, just muttering it didn't matter and he would pay. Oh, I'm sorry. I said can't. I should have said can. Frustrated, I wrote in the estimate, refuses to sign, and told him that we needed to prepay up front, which he did. I walked into the back area, told my coworkers, why the fuck couldn't he just sign and let me move on with my day? I was super annoyed about the interaction and harped about it because I love to beat a dead horse. Welcome to the Coven. After our diagnostics were complete and the phone call was made to the college that performed the surgeries that the dog needed, my vet went to talk to the owner. The vet came out of the room and looked me dead in the face and said, "Do you not know who that was?" Well, you wouldn't know. It was the founder of Google. I told her, I don't give a shit. He should have signed the damn paper and still harp on it to this day. I was gaslit by a billionaire. Ladies, keep doing what you're doing. Nothing gets me through the day more than listening to the two of you. Dayna, I'm so proud of you for being who you are. Katie brings tears to my eyes to see how happy you are with Nick Disney. I myself, a lover of Disney, so much so I named my son Elliot after the dragon from Pete's Dragon. I hope you girls go on tour one day. We will, so I can make sure to buy a front row ticket. First of all, there's no ethical billionaires, so I'm already on your side, but I'm on your side specifically because why are you being difficult? If your dog is in peril and you're a billionaire, just sign the fucking paper.
I don't know why. Yeah, that don't make any damn sense. I would harp on it too.
I thought the person who was going to be was like Lady Gaga, like someone you would actually know. Why the fuck would I know it? All billionaires look the same.
It's a white dude.
It's a white dude with a vest. What? Probably Patagonia.
Yeah.
Your turn.
And a pair of, what do they call those pants?
I also love when people...
Some kind of pleated pant.
Possibly a Sperry. I also hate when people are like, oh, do you see billionaires and no logos in sight? I mean, that might be true, but they also just don't have drip or aura. Like...
that's not... It's not because they're just like too rich and that's like sort of their thing. It's because they're lacking.
And then one day... Bezos discovered weights and Zuckerberg discovered a barber and has like a fade. And so like, yeah, we get it. But yeah, sorry, you're gross.
Okay, B says, hey, girly pops.
Hi.
First of all, if you read this, amazing, incredible, awesome. If not, then at least I journaled. Day one listener of the pod and truly appreciate the two of you. And not only love, but the absolute power of the two you radiate. To be able to share that with the world is so special. And that's why I'm writing in to say thank you. Thank you for creating a space where people can share and be heard, or even a place that helps other people hear what they need. If I had $1 for every episode where you two suggested someone dump their significant other, I'd be like $200 richer.
Which
is probably
funny,
a lot more richer, to be honest.
Yeah.
You might have missed a couple episodes. I met a pathetic excuse for a man when I was 21. Thought he was so cool because he was older and went through mental whiplash for 8 years. You know when your animal pees on the ground and you stick their head in as punishment? Yeah, well, got kittens at one point and they peed in the hallway, except the one who got their head shoved in it was me, literally while I was cleaning it. Asshole. He's a fucking asshole.
Also, that's like something boomers would do. Please don't do that. That's not an effective way to parent an animal.
Anyways, I got pretty turned on 420 and said I'm fucking over it and broke up with him, left him with everything and moved, even gave up my cats, which actually sucks. But it's almost been a month now and I feel fucking great. I now look at it as something I should have done literal years ago, so I absolutely have no regrets about hooking up with an Australian man now. He's a trip. Love it. But thank you so much for your encouragement and how tender you are with sensitive subjects while also being supportive and caring queens. So grateful for you both. So the point is that you left.
Hell yeah. It's more than 200. I mean, we've had 200 something episodes and half them were WWDDs, but like multiple stories.
Yeah. And thing is, everything now is hindsight. Like, yeah, you could have done it and should have done it a long time ago. But you know what? The point is that you got to this place.
We are also deeply happy for you that you found an Australian, and I'm assuming he went down under. So we love to see it.
Well, since you say we gave such great advice, I think we should do that now.
WWDD time.
Let's change some lives.
Anonymous says, hello, lovely ladies. I am writing to you because I am officially the last single person in literally every single one of my friend groups. Home friends, undergrad friends, and grad school friend. I am 29 years old. No, just wait.
Baby.
And haven't had a relationship in God knows how long. And of course, I'm in the deep depths of wedding season. I have 7 this year, 5 left. I definitely have been hard on myself. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? But I've been trying to be kind to myself. I was fine until my friend yesterday told me the seating arrangement at her wedding. I'm sitting at a table with 5 couples, 11 people at one table. I legit want to cry thinking about it. Everyone coupled up in there and I am either on the end or smushed in the middle. I don't know what's worse. And when the slow dances start, I'm already planning to get drunk in the bar or hiding in the bathroom during that time. And what's worse is I don't know who I can talk to about it because the last thing I want is my friends feel bad for me and worse than they do. Like, I'm not broken. I don't want sympathy. but I don't want to go to these weddings anymore. I would love some advice on how to not feel like the biggest fucking loser and also not bring the mood down on such special days for people that I love. Love you ladies always. Take a seat. I am so glad you're here. First of all, I want to say we love you. So I'm really glad that you wrote into us to talk about this.
You can talk to us about it.
That's what we're doing. We're going to have a chat. I'm also going to validate you. Number one, tisk. You're 29. You're a fucking baby. Take it from your mother. I ruined so much of my 20s and early 30s about being single. I also am unashamed to say I am always the single friend in every friend group, in any person that has ever existed in the history of the world, the universe, the galaxy.
She's not lying.
She's not.
Love
you had
though.
that coming really quickly.
I love you.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You know what? There's no goddamn shame in my game. And there used to be. And I used to make it about what was wrong with me. And guess what? What was wrong with me was a lot. And I had to do that work, unfortunately. But there's also a lot of people who find themselves lucky in a happy relationship when they haven't done the work. It's a crapshoot, and nothing replaces romantic love. Don't let anyone tell you that. But I just want to say, I can tell by the way you wrote this, you are emotionally intelligent, you are self-aware. And sometimes when you're self-aware to a fault, it eats you alive because you do overanalyze everything. And weddings can be, I don't like them as it were. It has honestly nothing to do with that. But it is hard when you're the only single person and you see it all around you, but also give it another 5 years because lots of those couples are going to break up, and we don't wish that upon them. And it's sweet that you care about your friends and not bringing them down. And it's hard when people feel bad for you. I hate when people feel bad for me, mostly because I'm fucking happy and I don't need you to feel bad for me. But for a long time, I felt bad about myself, and it took the time. I did the work, and now I have but also I didn't know I was a lesbian. So this is probably a different situation for you. I got to a place where I had to look at that fear of like, okay, I might end up alone. And then once I sat down with it and I overcame it, life has been blissful. And it takes time. And guess what? You're not going to end up alone. I just know you're not. You are not going to end up alone. Who cares how long it's been since your last relationship? Who cares what your age is? You can find it at any age. I know you want it now. You will find it when it's supposed to happen for you. And when you come from a place of being okay with where you are, it's not mandatory because, like I said, there's no magic silver bullet. But if you can get there, it's a great place to be. In the meantime, we love you. There's nothing wrong with you. Try and find joy in other places in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, retweet everything. Like they say, that fucking quote, comparison is a thief of joy. But I mean, that's something that I've had to learn too in my years of just like not comparing my page to someone else's and feeling less than because my life doesn't look like you don't know what's going on behind closed doors with people. Like just because someone's in a couple or they're married or they're getting married does not equal happy ending. And it's not to put that negativity out there, but like just know shit fucking happens for everybody. And as somebody who, you know, was so focused was the I want to get married girl, and that was the goal, and did that, and now I'm divorced, you know, but you know, just don't be in a rush and enjoy this time, because when you do find somebody, you're gonna probably miss the moments where you just got to like do whatever you wanted to do or have your single girl time, and just work on that relationship with yourself. So I think right now, just try, like Dayna said, try to like seek joy where you can. It's like once you stop looking for happiness in another person, you're gonna find it within yourself. That sounds corny, but it's 100% true. Take it from me.
I also want to say, feel your feelings when you need to. That's also an important part of it. It's part of the process. Don't suppress that. It's okay that you feel these. It's valid.
Mhm.
It feels like sometimes you're the last one. It's hard. I see you, and I can't wait till you write in whatever amount of time and say that you've met the love of your life.
Yes. All right. Hope that helps.
Hope it helps.
Anonymous says, hello, gorgeous ladies. Keep me anonymous, please. Yep.
Done.
No problem. So about even if I didn't want to keep you anonymous, I don't know your name, so I can't do that. So I'm about to go on a 3-day work trip soon to New York City. I'm talking to this guy on IG that I'm really into. I'm from LA and he's from New York. He's 38 and I'm turning 40 on July 31st. Happy early birthday.
Leo season, baby.
We've been talking, DMing each other. We haven't exchanged numbers or anything yet. He seems kind of offish now, like he's not really talking to me as much and he's not seeing my stories anymore as he did before, ever since I posted that I'll be going to New York soon. Oh, he saw my story and didn't mention anything, which is super weird. This lover girl and me, I'm over here thinking like, what if it's meant to be? LOL. I'm not like flying out to meet him. I would never fly for a guy, mind you. But since I'm here, I'm thinking like, why the fuck not? I'm not planning to have sex or anything, which I really fucking want to. Haha. I don't really have much time So I just want to grab coffee together and walk and talk in the park, really simply see if there's a connection. And since he hasn't been talking to me, I feel it's weird to bring it up, or I'm just thinking too much over it. LOL. Hardcore overthinker here, as you can tell. So what do you girls think? Should I meet him or nah? Does that come off too needy or weird? Thanks for reading. I hope it wasn't too long. And happy early birthday, Dayna, my fellow badass Leo queen. Love y'all. Bye. First of all, we love you. You're experiencing a bit of limerence, which I love to dilly-dally in the limerence of things. It's fun, but you have to remember that's in your head. That is your imagination just doing its thing. None of that exists. So while look at the facts. You've just simply DM'd with this man. And while there's an attraction and maybe a little connection via there, it's not real. And it's not real until it becomes real. And the truth is he's probably avoiding it. I don't know. Maybe he saw your story and now he's avoiding it. Like, for whatever reason, he's not being in touch with you. He knows you're coming and he just doesn't want to. Some people like when you're in the DMs, when you're just in the text phase. Like, that's where they're comfortable. It's when it comes to actually having to show up and show out that they can't do it. So I think you just let it be. I don't think you meet up with him. I think you just sort of match his energy and stop talking to him as well.
Yeah, I mean, we said this in another episode, but choose your own adventure. That's how I am about everyone in my life. And if you start pulling back, I invented pulling back. I'll show you pulling back. But here's the thing. Retweet to everything Katie said. He knows you exist. He's doing this for a reason. I'm guessing he's being avoidant. I would also agree it's limerence. And I would also say that this isn't the love of your life. I'm just going to tell you that because the love of your life would want to talk to you. But I also think when you're like, not to have sex, I really fucking want to. If you want to go and sit on it and spin, we approve this message. Then you should. But you should just know that that's all it's going to be. And I love you and I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that. But I think you know that also.
Yeah, well, I think there's something fun where every potential prospect could, you think of it as being the one that is a lover girl thing. So never lose that. I think that's that is a fun, like, sort of like whimsy way to look at life and these things. But sometimes you just have to get like real, especially when it comes to this situation where someone just starts to kind of ignore you. Reel it back in.
As Katie would say, stop being polite and start getting raw. Amy says, hello, ladies. Big fan since day one of the pod. Please do a tour and come to Milwaukee. Can't wait to see Katie on the House of Stassi. Retweet.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my issue. I have a friend that I've known since college and eventually became best friends. Now we're in our 30s and just have a vastly different lifestyle, which is not a bad thing whatsoever, at least not to me. I have what people would call a traditional lifestyle, married, kids, and house. And she wants either thing, marriage or kids, which I fully support. After having my own kids, I feel like if you're not 1,000% for it, please don't do it. We agree with that messaging. It's your life, do what you want. And she's amazing with my kiddos. They call her auntie, and she's more of an aunt to them than their actual relatives. And even though we have different lifestyles, we are very similar people in our likes and dislikes. She's the one that got me into VPR. So we do like the same things. Now, ever since then, I've had my kids. I've had anxiety that one day our friendship will fade because I can't be the person you can ask to hang out on short notice. But honestly, I'm not hard to plan with. I have a very present and supportive partner who is fine if I need a girls' night or whatever. I always make sure to be responsive, suggest the girls' nights, and show support when needed. But I do feel like my fears are slowly becoming a reality. She has friends she's met later that are in the same stage of life, which isn't the issue. But I feel like because of that, I feel like I'm now on the outside. Like I'm just the boring mom friend that she met in college. I talk about it with my husband, and he says not to let my anxiety get the best of me and just talk to her. That's obvious advice, right? Well, I've done that before with a close friend of mine for like my mid-20s, and it didn't go well. It got weird, and eventually we stopped being friends. So because of that, I don't want the same thing to happen again. I have a small friend circle, and I don't want it to get smaller. I also don't want to feel like the needy friend and have her feel obligated to hang out with me. I also have a tough time with confrontation. When I say that my husband thinks I'm crazy, not in a mean way, because she has mentioned that I'm her best friend before, or if she got married, I'd be the maid of honor, but actions speak louder than words, and I feel like our friendship is no longer a priority. Is this anxiety? Am I getting in my head? What should I do? The idea of making new friends at 40 sounds terrible. Sincerely, a mom that's all in her head. So number one, I thought it was important to pick this one because I love this perspective. I don't feel like we get this as much from the mom who's married with the kids. I feel like we get it a lot from the single people who feel on the outside, and me and Katie are not anti-traditional anything. We are pro-choice. So if that is your choice and that's what makes you happy, we love that. So I just wanted to say thank you for writing in. We'd love to see more of it. Mm-hmm. I think that you are also a self-aware person that is emotionally intelligent. I love to hear that you have this life that you've built that's changed, and you have friends from different walks of life, but it also is something that is concerning to you of not wanting to lose this piece of who you once were. But I think those things can coexist. You cannot want to lose that, and recognize that when you have children and a partner and your life move forward or in a certain direction, you change, and that's totally okay. And I think it's great that you want this friendship to continue. I think that you are having a little bit of anxiety. That's probably because you got burned once. To your husband's point, you're a little cuckoo, but aren't we all? Welcome to the club. Welcome to the Coven. I would say you should absolutely have the conversation, and it just should be what we always say, this just coming from a non-threatening place, and just be like, hey, I love you. That's why I'm having this conversation. It might be anxiety. Also, I'm really glad you have this group of friends that can be with you, because that is important to have your own life reflected back to you and the people around you. But it doesn't mean that she doesn't have space for you anymore. It doesn't mean that you're needy. She's the aunt to your children. I don't see this going away. So have the convo, but I also want to validate that I do think you're having some anxiety.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I think this is definitely a case of anxiety or feeling left out of things and things you want to participate in. But like, this is kind of some growing pains when, you know, you realize like, okay, like seasons of life, and you see how the trajectory that someone else took and how like different that looks from yours. But like, there is a place to meet in the middle of that. But I think having a conversation is really important, because she probably has no idea that you're feeling this way and is just simply doing her thing and assumes that you're just doing your thing. And then when you meet up, it's great and that's it. And sometimes you don't need to spend all that time with somebody. There's people I see like once every few months or 6 months, and they're still some of the people and friendships I cherish the most. But I think it'd be important to tell her like how you're feeling, because once she knows that, you know, then there can be some change made. But I don't think you need to fear anything or worry that like you're not as important to her. But I think having that conversation is going to be really important. Just coming from a place like, hey, I know this is like all me, and coming from a place of insecurity or anxiety, but I just feel like, you know, you have this whole life and it's wonderful and beautiful, but like, I feel like it's less of me. But I agree with Dayna. It's important to have friends that do have similar lifestyle as you. Because it can be hard for somebody to want to like hang out with somebody that, or only have friends that have like kids, and then you're like, okay, what do I do here?
And also, late in life friends can actually be a joy. Yeah, I've met some of the most important people in my life later in life. So
same. Anonymous says, hello, disrespectfully Coven. Please keep me anonymous in case anyone I know listens to the pod. Longtime VPR lover. I was a housewife stan at the ripe age of 13 that quickly developed into VPR via Real Housewives of Beverly Hills episode. If you know, you know. So when you guys started a podcast together, I knew I had to tune in. Your WWDD episodes always seems to get in my feels, and I love both of your advice, which actually prompted me to write this as I listened to the last episode where the writer talked about starting her life over and living the life of her dreams by taking a big leap and making hard decisions. And that got me thinking. That brings me to my situation. I've been in my relationship with my boyfriend for the last 3 years, and this is the first healthy, happy, loving relationship I've been in my life. For context, Dayna, I also struggle with issues with my dad regarding abandonment and never really chose a lot of good partners afterwards. My last relationship was 10 plus years and was extremely toxic. We got together at the beginning of our 20s, and he eventually made me a shell of myself and was overall so awful to me. Our relationship ended because he cheated on me with a girl he now has 2 children with. Ugh, that's gutting. Then I met my current boyfriend, and it just seemed like everything clicked. We are completely compatible and both air signs, both the eldest sibling in our family dynamics, and relate to a lot on different levels. We both came from relationships where we were not appreciated and poured that energy into each other. On paper, everything is perfect, but there's something that tells me that this might not be my person. That I just can't shake. For starters, my best friend has said this to me on multiple occasions and is not the biggest fan of him for reasons that I won't get into, but not for how he treats me. He treats me like a princess and does everything for me and is the act of service man every girl dreams of. Our sex life could use some work, but I feel like that's something that sometimes can be worked on. No, but the feeling of him not being my person is just something I've not been able to shake over the last year. We also still don't live together. He's been married before and has 2 kids and is open to being married and having more kids in the future, but I believe it's probably just to make me happy and not something that he truly wants. Overall, there's something in my gut that tells me this might not be the person I'm supposed to be with or the life I'm supposed to have. But leaving a well-rounded, healthy relationship with someone you love just because it's not right is probably one of the hardest and most painful things to do. I feel like I know my answer, but would love to hear your thoughts. What would disrespectfully do? Sign, the most confused girly pop. I mean, I understand because sometimes you want to listen to your gut. That's your discernment telling you that something's off and that like there's more or something else out there for you. You know, if it just doesn't feel right, you can't make it feel right. You can't force it. But I would also encourage you to like dig a little deeper and find out where this is coming from. Because if it's not coming from him, like he hasn't done anything to betray you or make you feel like you can't trust him or hurt you in any way, like where is that coming from? I know I'm not accusing you of self-sabotage, but sometimes we do that thing when like everything is going great and it's wonderful and it's everything you ever wanted. You get scared and you're like, okay, well, I don't want to lose this. So what if I just ruin it and I poison it for myself and that way I never want to touch it again and run from it? I'm not suggesting or saying that's what you're doing, but have you considered that? Maybe. I don't know. I think you should really, really self-reflect on this and not do anything until you know for certain, or just ask yourself, am I self-sabotaging?
Retweet. I agree with everything you said. I think that the drill down is important here because you might be correct in your feelings, but it also could be something that you're trying to blow up. So the sooner that you are able to discern between the two, the better. And I do think a lot of what you're describing is fixable, but it's all about open communication and
I think sex life, absolutely. That's something you work on.
And also, it's totally okay if it ends up being because it's not right for you, and it's okay to acknowledge that to yourself and then make choices. But I would say the first thing we need to do is stop, drop, and roll. Figure it out.
Make a list. I think that sometimes helps, like seeing things like in front of you, like the pros and cons or whatever the columns you want to call them, and that'll help paint a better picture for you, because if one side heavily outweighs the other, you got to think about that. I don't know what side that's going to be for you, but
I don't either, unfortunately. Do a coin toss. Well, I think that is the episode today. Wish us luck in Vegas. I'm going to try to have a repeat of my Bahamas craps experience.
Yeah.
I feel excited about that. Till next time.
Hey, love you, bye.
Hey, love you, bye. Babe, you're going to see the power of women. Like, disrespectfully.